Square Enix games coming to Xbox. I swear I love talking about this. And it's because I feel like it's better for the ecosystem. I know a lot of people are tired of hearing this conversation, but we have another Final Fantasy rumored to be coming to Xbox. And this one, I feel is more plausible, more accepting for the majority of the people than a lot of these other Final Fantasy games, being leaked or rumored to be coming to the Xbox platform. What game is that? What game am I talking about? It's Final Fantasy 16. You guys know I'm a huge Final Fantasy fan. I make videos all the time talking about the importance of Final Fantasy on the Xbox platform, and this is one of those occasions. Final Fantasy 16 has been rumored to coming to the platform. Jess Corden has been, teasing it. Xbox Air over there, Nick, he actually just came out straight, said that, a source of his said that they're working on it right now. Now, what are the possibilities of this happen? Is this a possible thing to happen? I don't know. Look, when it comes to Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth, these are the cream of the crop. These are the ones that everyone looks forward to, the ones that people really want. But people forget that they actually do have an ongoing franchise and not just remaking the older games. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and Remake is definitely on the table, and I think we will get those eventually. I've already made a video about it recently, but I do think that this Final Fantasy 16 one is probably true because, think about it. Like, every time Square Enix, especially Sony, sell very well, they love to come out there and just openly talk about the sales of that game or how well it did for the platform or a variety of both. But I feel like Final Fantasy 16, for the most part, no one's talking about that game. After that game came out, it did sell relatively good, but we know that sometimes Sony has like high expectations on where they expect things to be. And I don't know if Final Fantasy 16 met those expectations. Maybe it met it from Square Enix's point of view because they're the ones that's actually buying the game and they're the ones, supporting it. It's their IP. But I don't know if it made more sense to Sony because they put a lot of money towards it, making it an exclusive, making it a timed exclusive. I'm assuming they brought the majority of the bill for the marketing, and that's not cheap either. So from Sony's perspective and PlayStation's perspective, they actually got to justify more things than just the game itself, because even though that these games are helping sell their platform, helping get their brand more out there, obviously it doesn't need to be out there more than it is, but there's a lot of caveats to this. You can't take away from the fact that at the end of the day, Sony doesn't own Final Fantasy. They don't own Square Enix. So all they're doing is throwing money in another person's brand. Now, a lot of people are saying, well, Addict wants that they continue to make these arrangements. I do. I think Sony will try because Sony doesn't have the engine that Microsoft has right now. Regardless if whatever the game's outcome is, because we don't know that. We know Avowed's coming out this year. Hellblade's coming out this year. Starfield did a good amount last year. I would say it was underwhelming for people like myself, but it still did very good last year. Sony can't keep up with this type of content drop. Microsoft, ironically, is going to have a fantastic 2024, better than their 2023, and I think 2023 was a solid year for Xbox. And 2025 probably looks just as good. Sony can't keep up with that, so they're going to have to go out there and get more of these timed exclusives to fill in those gaps until they're able to buy more studios or negotiate more deals with these studios. I think people forget that. Microsoft goes around, they have more ongoing cash than anything. They're able to spend that kind of money. Sony doesn't necessarily have the same opportunities and the same financial flow to be able to do that. So I do think Sony will go back to the negotiating table and they will try to negotiate a longer Final Fantasy VII Remake, Rebirth, and Reunion. I don't think that's the name, but I'm just throwing that out there. Final Fantasy Reunion's a great name for a third one, even though that Crisis Core is called that. But I think these three games is what Sony's really going to put money behind. Final Fantasy 16 is not that game. In my personal opinion, Final Fantasy 16 did what it was supposed to do. It made 2023 more accessible for PlayStation. It made it more likable for PlayStation. But I don't think 16 is the type of game you go out to bat for multiple times. PlayStation put that money up. Sony put that money up to put that bat out there. The curiosity is, are they going to do that again? And even if they take Square Enix back to the negotiating table, Square Enix's CEO has been very clear that they're moving different. What is that intake? Does that mean they're going to do things differently in terms of how they present themselves? Does that mean even if Sony offers them a big ass bag, does that mean that they're going to take that big bag? I don't know. You know, you had the individual that Microsoft hired that has been negotiating with them, saying stuff like, you're never going to expand your business with just PlayStation. You've got to open up to more platforms, including Switch, PC, and Xbox. So right there shows that they might not necessarily see just taking money from one or two titles as worth the overall expansion of their company in the next few years. You know, the new CEO of Square Enix clearly has been speaking a different tone. Whether or not they take that, it's up to them. I think Final Fantasy 16 is definitely coming to Xbox, and I think we'll probably see the other ones come to Xbox relatively soon. I think it's a good thing. I do. I think Xbox right now is a good position as long as Avowed comes out and does what it's supposed to. Hellblade comes out what it's supposed to. And Indiana Jones comes out and does what it's supposed to. I think they will keep that momentum, putting the Square Enix games in Game Pass day and date, getting games into the Xbox day and date with the PlayStation and Switch versions. Keep in mind, we just got a mana game, first mana game ever to be not only on the Xbox but shown on Xbox as well. It was at their Xbox conference, so it's going to be interesting, guys. But put in the comments below what you guys feel about that. Do you guys think that Final Fantasy 16 is one of those big titles? Do you think that Microsoft would actually go above and beyond to get this title? I'm very curious your guys' opinion on that, and I hope you guys have a good day. This is Addict. I'm out of here. Peace.